Hello, magical people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Lou, and today I'm going to do a reading for the collective. This will be a pick a card reading and will be just an energy check-in for the weekend. So I'm going to be looking at the energy around you, I'm going to be looking at your energy, and then I'm going to be looking at the way those two play together. So this is going to be readings 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, I am a little bit of a slacker and waited until the last moment, so this will be a somewhat rough edit. There will be timestamps down below, but I want to actually get this video out before the weekend officially kicks off. So it'll be a little bare bones. I appreciate your patience with me as I learn how to do these sorts of things more effectively. So there are going to be 3 quick readings. I don't expect any one of them to be super long, but we're going to be just taking a brief look at the energy check-in again between the energy around you, your energy, and the way those two things play together. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into reading 1. Reading 1. Welcome. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. I always forget to say that. Yeah, take what resonates, leave the rest, and always make your own choices. All right, so we have here, for the energy around you, the first 2 things that popped up are the 7 of Pentacles and the Emperor card. I guess I could show these to you for those of you who like to actually see the cards themselves. So let's pull one more here and see if we can get this just, oh, wow, fleshed right out, okay. And it is the 5 of Cups card. Or I'm sorry, 5 of Cups. No, I'm sorry, that is the 5 of Pentacles. Apparently I need new glasses. All right, so now let's take a look at your energy and see what we see. So we have the first one that came out is the Father of Swords. So for the energy surrounding you right now, so the 5 of Pentacles is kind of that like feeling of limitations, and the Emperor card is also very much about sort of restrictions and rules, and like it's kind of I sometimes think of it as like the Big Daddy card. So like the patriarchy, Big Daddy, whatever works for you. And then the 7 of Pentacles card is kind of reaching that moment where you recognize that you've put in a ton of work and it's just feeling like maybe it's time to reassess the situation and change your methods, or maybe it's just one of those like taking a breath to sort of recognize how much work you've already put in. So that's sort of the energy around you. It feels very much, it feels a little heavy, it feels a little restrictive, it feels a little redundant, like you've really been putting in the work. And then your energy is the Father of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the 10 of Swords. So that is a lot of air energy. So again, I guess kind of not surprisingly, with the heaviness of the energy overwhelming you and that 10 of Swords showing up, that can feel very much like just really overwhelming. Like it's just, you're ready to just lay down and be like, oh, what the hell? So it's really tough energy to work through. But the Father of Swords is all about having kind of mastered the thoughts and having a confidence in the way that our thoughts work and how we use them, and being able to figure out how to do things and find our own answers. And the Ace of Swords is, you know, it's like new ideas. So I can see that your current energy is like trying to come out of this place of restriction and this place of burden and really be like, it's time to move forward. I want to shed that 10 of Swords and embrace the Ace of Swords and start a whole new cycle now that I've learned what I needed to learn here. So for the way those two energies are playing together, the first card that came out is the Lovers, and then we also have the 3 of Cups and the 4 of Wands. That is fascinating. And kind of what I'm feeling here is that, like, it's almost like, I don't know, I kind of get the feeling like that part of you is either recognizing that like this is just something I need to go through, because what's interesting is that even though both the energy around you and your kind of energy is showing up as being a bit difficult to move through and being a bit challenging, the way those energies are interacting, I mean, the Three of Cups, which is all about celebration and co-collaboration and co-creation with people that are around us, oftentimes friends or family. There's usually people that we feel good with, and co-creating and collaborating in that way. And then also the Lovers, which is obviously all about contracts and unions, and I mean, it can literally be about two lovers. So it's like, you know, this is, and then the Four of Swords, or the Four of Wands, is, I kind of think of that as like the 11-11 energy. So sometimes that's a little twin flamey. If that phrase means anything to you, then maybe that might be one of the reasons why things are feeling a little bit heavy here. But regardless, it seems as though whatever the reason for these feelings of restriction and feeling like you just need to sort of plod through and keep doing the work, even though it's hard, even though you kind of want to give up, the way those two energies are working together are showing to me that like this is actually going to be for your benefit. And it's really interesting. I'm just going to have to show you the way the three cards, or the way the three piles or energies kind of worked out, because we have, these are the three cards representing the energy around you, and then these are the three cards representing your energy, right? So it's not like they're completely devoid of color. There's definitely some color there, but it's not really super bright. It's pretty dark, it's pretty shadowy. But then for the three cards that I pulled for the way those energies interact with one another is all bright, and it's all sunny, and it's all very multicolored, and it has an air of like joy and celebration and happiness to it. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards as well, and I'm going to pull from another deck a couple of tarot cards just to kind of wrap this up and maybe give you some advice on how better to, or how, not better, that's not what I want to say here, about different things to think about in terms of ways to navigate this challenging energy to be able to reap those beautiful, colorful rewards. So let's pull a couple of, ooh, thank you. There's two. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's interesting. So we got both the World card and Joy, which is the Ace of Cups. So I guess maybe recognizing that this is the end of a cycle and that new things will come from it. And again, it's just reiterating that same thing, that like what's going to come from it is going to be so much more colorful and vibrant than the energy that you're in now. So, okay, let's pull a couple of oracle cards. I'm gonna pull an animal oracle card and a moon card. Oh, dang it. You know it's gonna happen in just about every longer reading I do. I'll drop a card. I'll be right back. Oh, and actually, you know what? There were two of them that came out. There were two oracle cards. We have both the Bat Spirit and the Beaver Spirit. And so we have a rebirth is assured and lay a solid foundation. So I guess this is just reiterating again that like, yeah, you're in a place that requires a lot of work and maybe some not super pleasant restrictions on you, but that for once that cycle wraps up, it's going to yield a different perspective and different opportunities that will allow you to pursue things that do bring you actual joy. And then we have, for your moon oracle card, we have the full moon card, surrender to the divine. So I feel like surrender is kind of the overall theme here. Like, you're already doing the work, you're already showing up and doing it. So it's a matter of just surrendering and releasing resistance to what is, so that you can move through that point and finish that cycle out, and then move on to the more joyful aspects that you'll be able to reap the benefits of. So I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, just quick readings, quick energy check-in, And I look forward to seeing you next time. Feel free to drop a like or comment and let me know what you're thinking. Take care. I'm probably not even going to edit out this being in between the scenes, because I really did super slack in terms of using my planning appropriately. Also not planning appropriately, I realized I just forgot to turn the heat off, so I'm going to have to step away for a moment to do that. Otherwise it's gonna get real loud. This is casual Lou today, obviously, showing up for this reading. I'm sorry that's going to be noisy for a moment while the heat shuts itself off. Apparently I didn't catch it quick enough before it started its little cycle there. So anyhow, it's Pride weekend here in Portland where I am, and I will be going out shortly to celebrate that with some dear friends and loved ones, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And not really sure what else to talk about here while I get the pre-shuffling done and ready for group 2. Thought about streaming sometimes, but honestly the pressure that I'm feeling right now is one of the reasons why I've never done it and never moved forward, really taken any steps to figuring out how to do it and the right technology and all of that good stuff, because trying to fill the dead air, it's not something I'm super skilled at. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at group 2. So, group 2, welcome. Please like, comment, subscribe. I don't think I said that before I started reading 1. And welcome to your reading. And this is, again, doing a current energy check-in for the weekend. First thing we're looking at is the energy of those things around you. And, okay, we've got the 9 of Wands, the 5 of Wands, and the Father of Cups. Ooh, it feels like things are maybe a little tough right now. Like maybe you're in your feelings and you're trying to navigate that, but it feels like there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of, it's interesting. It's not hugely dissimilar energy as from the first reading with the, I mean, it was different, but sort of similar in that there's also like the 5 of Wands showing up with some conflict here. So there's an energy of like conflict and uncertainty and maybe a little bit of overwhelm and a lot of emotions kind of surrounding you right now. And then for your energy, we have the Daughter of Pentacles, and the Chariot, and one more please for energy. Okay, great. And the Devil. So, ooh, interesting. So like you're really feeling like you want to buck against this energy, and like you're like, no, I don't want all of this heaviness. I just want to be in my Daughter of Pentacles energy. It's very gentle. It's very sweet. And then there's also the Chariot kind of showing up and being like, all right, it's time to drive forward. We've learned the lessons. We want to get away from this difficulty, and we want to leave these things behind and sort of kick them to the curb. So it's interesting, the Devil card showing up kind of in support of moving forward and trying to break away from that air of conflict and overburden and maybe feeling like there's too much emotions. So let's see now, actually, let's see now what the interaction is between those two energies. So a few cards for the interaction, please, between those two energies. And we have here the 8 of Pentacles. Ugh. All about building the web, all about doing the work. And we also have the Mother of Cups here, and she is showing up to, you know, kind of in support of that sort of Daughter of Pentacles energy. There's a similar sort of gentleness to the Mother of Cups as there is to the Daughter of Pentacles. I guess rather a sensitivity is perhaps more appropriately the word that I want to use. Oh, and interesting, also the 4 of Wands, which also showed up in the first reading. So that is pretty interesting. There's a balancing that's being done, like the energy between these two things, this air of conflict and uncertainty and a lot of feelings and wanting to be out of that and moving forward and just putting it behind you. I guess the way these two are interplaying is that the work, like it's not all the way there. The web hasn't been built yet. The Mother of Cups, like she hasn't been able to have the clairvoyance, the clear vision to see exactly what the outcome is going to be here that will bring it all in balance. So I kind of feel like maybe the Devil card is showing up to, yeah, like it does. It kicks you forward, but here's the thing is that the Devil card is also a little deceiving, and even just in the way that I'm talking about it, I think that's kind of apparent in this reading. So like, I guess the Devil card wanting to kick you out of this energy, and the way these two energies is interplaying is that like there are still some lessons to be learned here. So maybe it's more about like, yeah, there's a lot of feelings happening, and there's a lot of you know, conflict, and this can even be internal conflict going on around you. But sometimes the only way through, or the only way out rather, is through. And interestingly, so okay, getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry, sometimes I start talking real fast and get a little bit ahead of myself. So now that we've kind of see the interplay, we're looking at some next steps and bits of guidance or advice from oracle cards and a different tarot deck. So for the tarot cards, we pulled swiftness and the death card as advice. And so that is pretty interesting right there, because like the thing about the death card is not that we get to just pretend things that don't, it's more about using, rather than pretending things that don't exist and like wanting to move beyond them, kind of like that devil energy, like don't look at it, it's going to be painful, just ignore it, just avoid it. The death card is really kind of showing up and saying that like really what we can do with this energy is we can actually use it to transform. So the same net result is that you are on the other side of it, but one way with the devil, you're sort of bound to repeat it. Whereas with the death card, you can be more mindful about integrating the information from these lessons so that we don't need to repeat them. And then with the Eight of Wands card in this deck, that's the Eight of Feathers, but with the Eight of Wands card showing up, you know, that often denotes not only a certain amount of swiftness, but a lot of communication. So I really kind of feel like maybe this is an opportunity to have some conversations if you're in therapy, or maybe this is an invitation to seek out some therapy and really learn about how to stop being avoidant of those difficult things and instead learn to be in a place of integration so that we're not repeating the same unhelpful cycles. And then for oracle cards, we have the Dove Spirit, be at peace, and then we also have full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. And in fact, you are indeed good enough. And if nobody's told you that lately, I guess that's my job today. So I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, just a quick energy check-in to send everybody on their way. But like, yeah, you're doing all right. You're gonna get through this. It's just a matter of waiting until all of the pieces are in place so that we can take what we need to take from it. And so I guess, yeah, perhaps there's an invitation here to just go even a little bit deeper into the things that cause us discomfort, especially the emotions that cause us discomfort, because while emotions can be incredibly unpleasant sometimes, they are actually just emotions. In the way that unpleasant thoughts are just thoughts. They're not actually us, and we don't have to allow them to take over our sense of identity and our sense of existence. So again, I hope you have found this helpful. Please do feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear how you think of things, or what your thoughts are about this reading, or otherwise. Take care. And now we are moving on to reading 3. I just need to reshuffle everything again. it could just be learning to get used to the silence and not feeling the obligation to provide more than the silence in between the readings. Some interesting food for thought. I'll have to consider that. Chances are good that at some point while I'm out and about over the next few days, I will find myself awkwardly with a bunch of people and not much to say. And perhaps that is the little thing that I will think about when I do that. All right, now we're gonna do reading 3. So reading 3, welcome. And we are going to just, again, take a look at the energy around you and your energy and the way those two energies are playing together. So let's see what we see. Oh, like, comment, subscribe. I think that's about it. So, okay, energy around you. Let's see what we've got here, please. Energy around you. Group 3. Oops, there we go. Okay. We have the Father of Wands, the Tower card, and the World card. Okay, group 3. So group 1 and 2 also had some like tough energy around them, feelings of overwhelm and feelings of being overburdened and having a lot of feelings. And it looking like it's not too different for you. So with the Father of Wands here and the Tower card and the World card all coming out, it feels like there's certainly some intensity, and it feels like the intensity is kind of everywhere. It's not like it's just one facet of your life that is feeling like you're having a bit of a tower moment. It's more like it's kind of coming from a variety of places. So now for your energy, we have the 6 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Chariot. Oh, interesting. The Chariot came out for group 2 as well. So, do wish I'd brought some water with me. Again, casual loo. Pardon me for a moment while I get some water. Thank you so much. I guess that looking at that 6 of Cups just made me realize how thirsty I was. All right. So, like I said, for your energy, we have the 6 of Cups, the 3 of Pentacles, and the Chariot. So it's interesting. You're wanting to move out of this tower moments, like these tower moments that feel like they're kind of happening all around you. But not only that, you're wanting to like not only just take a step forward, but taking a step forward specifically for the purpose of putting something that you make, something you have mastery of, so it doesn't have to be a physical thing that you make, but putting a piece of yourself out into the world. And it's interesting that the 6 of Cups is showing up here because that's kind of like there's a nostalgic sense about all of that. So it's like the nostalgia reaching back and the Chariot wanting to drive forward. It's very interesting energy there. And then with the 3 of Pentacles in the middle. So let's take a look now at the few cards for the way those two energies are playing together. It's interesting because I feel like they actually, I'm curious to see here. Okay, yeah, so we have the 7 of Wands, the 2 of Wands, and the Lovers card, which also came out in group 1. And just because I happen to feel like flipping it over and looking, and then I did, that's usually an indicator that, like, if I do that, there's a reason why. So, like, underneath this is the Star card. So this is pretty cool here because it feels like the way these two energies are playing together are going to give you some opportunities to really show how unique you are, and that's going to show up in the way you relate to yourself and the world around you and kind of how you plan your future. So I sort of feel like, you know, maybe this tower moment, it's interesting because, like, the same thing happened with the first reading. That's fascinating, where, like, the energy around you is all very, like, kind of, dark. There's a lot of dark colors in those 3 cards. And then for the way those 3 play together, it's again it's like literally a candle in the darkness and illuminating all of this bright beautiful stuff around you. So like, I think your chariot moment, your moment of like being able to move forward from these tower moments it's coming. It's definitely coming. And it's looking like with that nostalgia card that, you know, maybe this will be an opportunity, especially with the world card showing up. Like the tower card and the world card showing up is like big lessons, right? Like big lessons. But then with the Six of Cups showing up as your energy, that's showing up as like, yeah, I'm looking back, I'm seeing the lessons that I learned, and I'm taking the information from them. And then with the Star card underlying it, that's like the wish fulfillment card. So, all right, so in terms of how to actually move forward into that space of like the Lovers and the Seven of Wands and, you know, letting your light shine in the darkness, I'm pulling just a couple more oracle cards as well as the a couple more tarot cards from a different deck. And so we have here, okay, a win-win is in the forecast, or win-win outcome is forecast. So I guess this is just your spirit team inviting you to show up and see the big picture that a win-win is coming. And again, just sort of like pointing to that Star card. And then in terms of like active steps, we've got the Two of Wands. Oh, isn't that interesting? Didn't the Two of Wands? It did. The Two of Wands showed up. So being able to like, oh, except you know what? I'm sorry. Those aren't feathers. Those are arrows. They just have feathers on the end of them. So it's not the Two of Wands. It's the Two of Swords. So we have the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords. So this is pretty interesting in terms of next steps in order to like fully move into that space of seeing the big picture, getting that star energy, letting your light shine, and, you know, being able to access that Lover's energy and invite that more fully into your experience. It's really a matter of taking off your own blinders and recognizing that you have the agency here. You have the agency here. You're the one that gets to actually make the choices. And sort of acknowledging that is going to be helpful to moving you forward into this energy. I hope this has been helpful to you. If it is, I'd love to hear from you. Again, take what resonates, leave the rest. This is just a quick reading, just an energy check-in, and I'll be back with you soon for another. Take it easy.